Hey guys, so we're back with this, whatever this business is. We're going to work through it together. So, I finally sat down to do a tell me anything reading, and it was one of these where I completely release control, and it's like whatever comes through is what comes through, and we'll have a chat about it. We'll investigate it. And I was pulled to use this animal, what's it called? Wild Unknown Spirit Animal deck by Kim Kranz, and I got all this. Now this came out first, this row, and then this came out second. So it's like part one, part two, possibly, or it could be this is one person, this is another person. I'm not quite sure. Now, I'm going to do it a bit like a pick a card reading. So, what you can do, if you're used to my other pick a card readings, you can just kind of release, um, see which one speaks to you, and we'll find out kind of, the singular story of each of these characters. It could be that this is seven different people, seven different characters in this story, because there's kind of like reoccurring things through each one. So, I don't know if it's seven different people involved in one big story, or if it's a narrative, part one, part two, part three, part four, to part seven, like it's a running story, and the person who it's about is asked to take on different roles or bring out different aspects of the self in each part of this journey. So, but it is, as I kind of like investigated this, I have looked at all the cards. I have kind of gone through it a little bit myself to kind of figure out what it's trying to tell me. So it does feel like it's a narrative to me, like it's trying to tell me something going on, but it's not clear to me. So we're going to go through it together. So if you do want to do this as a pick a card reading, I'm going to put the timestamps for each character down below. You can choose which one resonates with you and go and check it out. Others of you, you may wish to just kind of come along on this story with me, and we'll kind of like look at each one in order and kind of work our way through the narrative together. Now, just as a reminder, if you missed the reading yesterday, it was kind of talking about possibly something to do with like parenting, like the way you've been raised, perhaps. The octopus, the mouse, and the stingray were all reversed. So to me, it was saying, adopt these character traits. Bring this out of yourself. The elk and the lion tell me be a leader. The tarantula says bide your time, know when to move and when to hold back. The peacock tells me, don't be afraid to be in the spotlight, to kind of like put your best foot forwards, to kind of dress up and show that kind of showy offy version of yourself. Right? It's kind of telling you to have, be proud of yourself. The octopus in reverse was telling me kind of don't have your hands full, don't try and do too much, don't be taken advantage of, don't try and be all things to all people. The mouse was telling me speak up, don't make yourself small, make yourself big like a lion, not small like a mouse. You have a voice, so make sure you get that seat at the table, make sure you are not overlooked. And the stingray told me just be wary about any tendencies you have to be a bit sharp with your words, to have that sting in your tail. And the stingray also kind of flies under the radar, so it's saying don't fly under the radar, don't go unnoticed, step up, step into the limelight, speak up, roar like a lion, right? This is kind of like the overall message of that previous reading that I did, just to kind of tell you where we're up to. Now, the key song for this, the song that I've pulled for these cards was The Nights by Avicii. So this is saying, enjoy your life, live a life that you're proud of, live a life that you can look back on and say, I enjoyed myself, I made the most out of my life. Because if you're, can you see how the mouse and the octopus particularly are in this kind of like dark space, because they're kind of being taken advantage of, people, they're being trodden upon. So it's like, don't put yourself second, put yourself first, like this lion and the peacock. Be big, be bold, be adventurous. Do go and watch the video for that Avicii song. It is a little bit, there's things in there that make me nervous. I'm like, be careful. Obviously have an element of being sensible with the things that you do, don't put your life at risk, but also be bold, be adventurous, and have fun is the main message that's coming through with this reading. Like take control of your own life as well. So yeah, what would you say to yourself on your own deathbed if you could give your past self advice? Would you say, be miserable because you're so busy trying to do everything for everybody else and you're not speaking up? So the underlying for this is this nightingale. Now, the nightingale, I said in the last reading, talks about um, the breaking dawn, right? The darkness before the dawn, singing in the new day. Now, if you go and check out yesterday's reading, um, there's a song on the list down there at the end which played as I was uploading the reading, and it was "Shake It Off" by Florence and the Machine, and it was it just spoke to me so loudly. It was like, yes, this is for this reading, because there's a line in there that says it's always darkest before the dawn, right? It's always darkest before the dawn. And as I kind of go through this narrative, you're going to kind of see the struggle in there. So it's always darkest before the dawn, and it's hard to dance with a devil on your back. So this is talking about what are you carrying from the past that maybe you need to vocalize, maybe you need to stand up against an oppressive force from your past. It could be a father figure that was coming through in the last reading, but there's some kind of shadow work. There's something going on there. It could be subconscious. It could be something that happened to you as a child. It could be conditioning, social conditioning that's told you to be small, that's kept you in that dark place, right? But now it's time to step forward as a leader and be proud of who you are and take control of your life and live the life that you want to live. Is the main message that's coming through here. Big, strong message, right? So this is going to be a really, really long reading. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do part 1 and part 2, or if it's just going to be one really long video that's going to take me hours to upload. But we'll just kind of see. We'll maybe this is a lesson. Maybe it's go with the flow. Deal with it as it happens. Make those split decisions. You don't have to plan everything. It could be that's the message. So I'm excited to get started. So yeah, maybe pick your card or just follow me along on this journey. And I'll see you in a minute. Okay, hello. So if you chose the elk or you're just here for the journey, we're going to investigate some of the elk's cards here. Now, I need to say that I'm not setting anything up here. Genuinely, I've totally released control to my guides. They are choosing the cards and bringing the messages through for me. I shuffled to get each card for each pile, as I normally would. My only thing was that I wanted 1 or 2 cards. I tried to avoid having 3 cards from any one deck, but you can see actually there are 3 cards from one deck here. So yeah, no more than 3. 3 was like my absolute max that I'd take from any deck. But genuinely, this is how the cards came out. So I'm going to kind of talk you through it. So the main thing that I'm getting here, let's talk about the elk first. The elk to me is the emperor in the tarot. So somebody who's very grounded, dependable. They've got a lot of experience. You can see here he's looking a bit scraggly, right? He's a bit, he's had a lot of experience. He's fought a lot of battles. He's been around, so getting a bit grizzled around the edges there. But you can't be the emperor in the tarot if you've not had the experience of all 4 kings of the tarot. So to me, it's like the wounded warrior becomes the emperor, and they can lead with a huge amount of wisdom because they've got that life experience and they've got the compassion for other people who are going through those experiences. So the elk here, if we want to talk star signs, the elk to me, if we're talking about the Emperor card, would be Taurus or Aries. It doesn't have to be. It's just the kind of energy of the card. It's earth sign energy. You can see the alchemical symbol for earth here. So the elk normally talks to me more about, if we're talking earth sign, I would say Taurus or Capricorn. Not so much Virgo, because I see Virgo as more of a team player and the elk is a leader. So if any of those signs are relevant, take them. If not, just leave them. It's more about the energy than the star sign of the person, right? We've got a lot of stuff going on in our charts. So don't worry too much about that. So you can see here as well, the antlers sort of look a bit like a tree. So it talks to me about legacy, family tree. The elk could mean, it could indicate a father or a teacher or a boss. I'm seeing this elk today, that whoever that we're talking about here, they're very, very grounded, very earthy. I'm actually getting sort of shaman energy, which I'll go into in a minute, but very much connected to nature, very probably they like animals, or they work with animals, or they have a lot of animals around them. I was picking up maybe a vet for somebody, and it's kind of this like shamanic, I can't pronounce words, earthy kind of spiritualness, this grounded spiritualness that comes with legacy and tradition and experience through the 3D world. But you can see how the antlers are all lit up here, and we've got this this eclipse here. It's like the sun and the moon together, and this person kind of almost channeling in energy from this eclipse. So again, this person's very, very spiritual, a very earthy, intuitive kind of wisdom, leadership energy here. There is quite a bit of stuff about leadership because we've got that lion as well. The peacock as well talks to me about standing out. So we'll go into it a little bit more in a minute. So the reason why I'm saying a shapeshifter or shaman, we have this card here which says the magical shapeshifter. And if you can look here, these animals here, we've got the chameleon, which literally says change, and this woman transforming into a lizard. And we also have this this elephant here which says leadership. Again, leadership is a reoccurring theme here, and this is the god Ganesha, who has the head of an elephant. So this thing about being very connected to animals, like maybe this person has dreams where they are an animal. I once had an amazing dream where I was like some sort of eagle. I lived in a house with this young married couple, and they were having a baby. So I think there was like some kind of like wolf or fox as well that lived with us, and some other kind of bird. And we were like, oh, we have to go and get a gift for the family that we live with. So yeah, animals. And so we went out and kind of, I remember flying over the fields and looking down and seeing I can't remember if it was an animal, like a fox or a wolf. It was like a dog type animal, running through the field below me, and we were like out looking for a gift for this young married couple. But it was this beautiful flying dream. So I don't know if somebody else has these kind of dreams where they transform into animals, or they are animals, or it doesn't have to be that, but something like that. We also have this goat as well, reliability goat. Now goats also talk to me about standing out and achievement and kind of being the best. Goats are associated with Capricorn energy, so we've got that twice here, and it's also associated with people say you're the goat, you're the greatest of all time, right? You're the best. So there is something about like success, achievement, leadership going on here. There could be a change in leadership, or somebody could be being called to step into some sort of leadership role. Something like this. Again, it could be some sort of family tree thing here, where perhaps the father ran some sort of business and the son is inheriting the business. I am picking up mostly masculine energy, but it doesn't have to be. So I'm just going to say whatever comes through. So the first card here is look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Now, if you remember at the start of the reading with that Avicii song, Avicii, Veni Vidi Vici, he was saying, enjoy your life, live your life like it's an adventure, because the more you have adventure, the more life experience you gain, and the more your soul grows. So with it being Sagittarian energy, it's very much like live your life as an adventure. So let me just quickly read from the book there. I don't want to read too much, but are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma, fretting over minutiae that can be counterproductive? Or perhaps you're being all talk and no action? This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you then see about your current situation? What is the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't yet have exactly what you want. I am speaking quite fast because there's going to be quite a lot of reading. It's going to be a long video if I don't speak quickly. So if I'm speaking too quickly for you, you can actually go to the settings and slow down the video and slow down how fast I'm speaking. That might be helpful if you think I'm speaking too quickly. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. So it says, Take time out for a mini break or adventure. Be confident. You may have been distracted. Have you shown you care? Find balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. That's talking to me about this tarantula energy as well. So it says, the full moon in Sagittarius is a time when we are being reminded that life is an adventure, and there's a big wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's about having fun and being prepared to sail into uncharted territory. It's about big ideas versus the details. No matter when you draw this card, it encourages you to look at the bigger picture. So again, this thing about being called to kind of adventure, right? Like life is an adventure. There's a big world out there to explore. Now, there's something going on with the moon here. Like I said, there's an eclipse going on here. Obviously there's a moon on this card. This is the moonology deck. But the first 3 cards here, there's a moon. So she has a moon behind her head. Also, just to point out this kind of, the colours here are talking to me about the peacock on her crown. And there's a moon here as well. There's an owl there too, which talks about wisdom. So the magical map shifter then, something that's standing out to me that's a reoccurring theme across the decks is this sense of time and of the compass, so direction, finding your direction in life, knowing when's the right time to move. So there's something very earthy and intuitive going on with this reading, which I'll talk to you a little about as I discuss this Moonlight card. Sorry, I'm just trying to... There's quite a lot to get through, and I'm trying to give it you in as least complicated way as I can, while still explaining to you all the things that I'm picking up on. So also this is kind of talking to me about the peacock's feathers too. So this is linked to the peacock for me for some reason. And there's a key there as well, which I hadn't noticed. So Spirit orchestrates everyone's destiny. When the magical map shifter card arrives, it comes with a mission to make you aware of the people who come into your life to impact your personal growth. Perhaps you may meet a soulmate whose presence invites you to be the best you that you can be, or someone who leads you out of difficulty and into a place of safety or success. Again, this thing about success, right? Pay attention to these individuals who cross your path today and cause you to reflect on your journey. Be awake and aware, and you'll recognise them for the important change agents they are. Your whole perspective is about who you are and why you're here will shift. Your whole perspective about who you are and why you're here will shift. The magical map shifter always initiates you into a better version of yourself. So somebody is definitely being called to step up, right? To be a better version of themselves, with that peacock and the lion, and moving away from the octopus and the mouse, which talk about kind of giving too much to others or being unnoticed. So somebody's really being called to like step into the spotlight, to be a leader. Maybe not, it may not even be like a leadership job, you know, it may not be like you're the boss. It may be more like, show other people the best way to live their life. Be somebody who's inspirational, right? Not somebody who's small. So it's talking about a connection. Now, it could be between you and spirit, you and some kind of spirit guide who's directing you here. But there is this 2 of water, which is the 2 of cups. So there is definitely some sort of connection here between 2 energies, 2 people. It's you and someone else. It could be you and the elk, or you could be the elk and it's you and someone else. But as I say, I'm picking up on that peacock here. Right, so let's go to Moonlight. It's like, it really does feel divinely directed. It feels like somebody who's very earthy, very intuitive, kind of getting this kind of intuitive information, this earthy kind of nature wisdom, feeling very connected to source and being very spiritually guided to become the best version of themselves. So here again, Moonlight. This gave me Dua Lipa, Moonlight, what is it? Levitating by Dua Lipa, Moonlight, Starlight, Come and Dance With Me. So I'll have a look at that song in a minute as well. Your intuition allows you to see beyond the mundane, logical and analytical. Follow it. So yeah, intuition, right? Moonlight beckons. Come and trust your intuition to lead you into places that might not seem logical. Your hunches will be right on target. Resist second-guessing yourself, for your alternate perception is especially sharp right now. You can see beyond the surface of things and truly read between the lines. This is a good time to use oracle cards or other systems of divination to gain information. Remember that the language of intuition is a symbolic one. It comes subtly through a hunch, a tingling, a clear sound, or an animal or object crossing your path. Spirit is sending you messages to help you right now. Success is yours if you follow the signs. Success is yours if you follow the signs. I'm just noticing the pattern on a skirt there. It almost looks like a baseball team, or like, I don't know why it's looking like two baseball bats and like a helmet, you know, like a sports helmet. Also, she's got this hourglass, which talks to me about time again. So both of these cards have this element of time, knowing when's the right time to move, which is what the tarantula says to me. So we've got this cave card next. So it says, I do feel like somebody is being guided by source, being guided by, I don't know, spirit guides, ancestors who've passed over, this kind of other energy, right? Because the cave, it says protection, and it talks to me about being kept safe through something, because you have some kind of job to do with the universe, which is what the egg says to me. So it's like you're going to birth a new future for those who follow, because again, there's this ancestry thing here. So there's some kind of change that's important. You are a part of whatever this like universal movement is. You have some sort of role, some kind of destiny to play. So spirit is protecting you as you move into this, being a good example for others, being somebody who others can follow, is how it's coming through. So let's have a quick look at the cave then. You are loved and protected in your endeavours. Know yourself. Taking silent time is good for your mental health. Retreating after periods of extreme hard work is positive. Be embraced by nature. So it can just say, make sure you keep a good work-life balance. You know, you take the time to rest if you need to. Again, this is a very earthy element here. A lot of earth here and a lot of moon in this section. So the chameleon then, change. Here we go. So change is a natural part of life, so resistance is futile. Nice quote. Ride the energies of change and know where you are going, then fear will lessen. It's not always wise to just blend in with everybody else. Peacock, right? Peacock lion, stand out, don't blend in, don't be the mouse. This is what it's telling you. Flexibility in mind and body is advantageous. Do not take too long to make your decision. So if you have a decision to make, don't take too long. So it does, the story behind this card, it's an African story, and it talks about the ancient god created man and thought, do you know what, I really like these people, I'm going to make them immortal. And he sent the chameleon to tell the people that they were going to be immortal. But the chameleon was too busy blending in and eating, and he didn't get the job done. So this kind of ancestral god, this old god, sent down a faster lizard to go and tell the people, oh, do you know what, I've changed my mind, you're not going to be immortal after all. And he said whichever of these animals got to the people first, that was the decision. And because the lizard was quick, he went directly there. You know, humans were mortal, they weren't immortal, because the chameleon took too long. So don't take too long, don't procrastinate is the message there. It also says chameleon magic is one of flexibility and coping with change. So big thing about change here. Again, could be changing some sort of leadership. Call upon the magic of this creature when you wish to have successful change in challenging circumstances, and when you wish to know everything you can about a situation prior to moving forward. So just notice as well this kind of dry landscape, because that is going to come back out towards the end of the reading as well. So leadership with the elephant then. So this is a time to step forward and lead. There is a time to step forward and lead. Again, this thing about timing, right? The tarantula as well talks to me about knowing when it's time to step forward and when it's time to pull back. There is a time to step forward and lead, and it is now. Be the leader in your own life. If you want something achieved, take the lead yourself. Be the example that others will follow. Do not lead by force, but lead instead by inspiration. So inspire people. Don't be tyrannical, right? So yeah, it's talking about inspiration. It's funny, I was talking about that inspirational poster as well. in the last reading. So yeah, inspire others by living your best life, making healthy, happy choices, so that others can follow. The magic. Elephant magic is powerful yet calm. Again, it talks to me about this elk-like kind of like this earthy emperor. It can be used when you wish to have obstacles removed or to move out of a limbo situation. Elephants are wise and take leadership when there is magic, which is where their magic is so effective. If you wish to become a better leader, or at least a wiser one, or you would like to attract such a person into your life, ask the elephant to lend her energy to you. So again, there's this thing about, I don't know if you want to go and watch some of those elephant readings that I did. There are other Tell Me Anything readings if the elephant is standing out to you. But yeah, leadership. I saw an image at one point, and I never did a second elephant reading, but it was a card where there's 3 elephants, and there incremental sizes. There's a big one, a middle-sized one, and a little one, and the big one is leading the others, like the holding like the tails with the trunks and leading. So elephants, they're a family animal. They tend to, a nice thing about elephants is that they all look after the children. So it's not like they only look after their own children. It's like the whole elephant tribe, stampede, I don't know what you call a group of elephants. They look after the young. If they're threatened, the big elephants will go on the outside of the circle, and they'll get the little elephants in the middle to protect them. So very much a family unit. Very much the biggest, oldest elephants lead the other elephants, and following each other's footsteps. So there's something to do with like leadership and legacy here. Again, this goat is here. So the goat tells me, just to kind of touch on the elephant one more time, there's something about mountains and obstacles. Now, mountains generally do symbolize obstacles for me in the tarot, and also ascending to a better version of ourselves, or climbing the career ladder, or basically ascending in any sort of shape or form. It's difficult to get to a higher place. It's you have to invest energy. You have to strategize. You have to take resources with you. It's a challenge to get up that mountain. So sometimes it's an obstacle, and sometimes it's a challenge to become better. Now, the god Ganesha is a god who places obstacles in our path. So if we're going the wrong way, the god may put up an obstacle there to make us change direction. He also clears the way. If we're acting very honourable, he will remove obstacles from our path. So make sure whatever you're doing, whatever leadership thing you're doing, you're acting with high honour, because then obstacles will be removed from your path, or you'll find ways to overcome them. So this goat then, let me just find the page. So 19. Reliability. So be a reliable person for others, right? Is your word reliable? Can you be counted upon? This is the thing about honour. Be honourable. And also, I'm linking the elephant to the octopus a little bit, because if you give someone your word, you have to kind of fulfill that responsibility. If you make someone a promise, you have to kind of make good on that promise. So you are being encouraged to be true to your word, and don't overpromise. I'm just noticing how he has multiple arms, like the octopus, and because I associate the octopus with Capricorn energy as well, as the goat. So something going through there if you're a Capricorn, or you're dealing with a Capricorn. Something going on here about overpromising, or trying to do too much. This could be Virgo energy as well. Trying to do too much, trying to help others, trying to please others, but taking on too much responsibility. So it's like, if you have to say no, know your limits, don't take on too much, because what happens then is you try and juggle too much, and you kind of don't do things properly, or you don't overpromise, but be true to your word. So be selective about what you commit to. Maybe this is why you were talking about choosing. Don't spread yourself too thinly. Stand up for yourself. Don't be taken advantage of. Don't overpromise. If you can't do something, say, I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. You're going to have to find someone else to do it. Because if you say you'll do it and then you fail, you're letting that other person down, and you're going to feel bad about it. So there's a message there for somebody. But Is your word reliable? Can you be counted upon? Make your way successfully, step by step, steady as she goes. Nourish yourself. We should climb mountains, not carry mountains. So again, don't overpromise and be burdened. You're not here to carry the mountains of others. So you don't have to take on the burdens of everybody else, right? You can't get up that mountain if you're carrying everybody, but you can get up that mountain yourself and clear the way for others to follow. So there's something about that there. I'm not quite sure exactly how to explain that better, so I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. But the goat is designed to be able to get to the top of that mountain, right? That's their special ability to do that. So, but you can't get to the top of the mountain if you're carrying all the other goats. They have to learn to climb up there themselves, but you can show them the way. So, I don't know. Goat magic, and specifically the magic of Thor's mountain goats, is one of reliability and sure-footedness. Goats are remarkably athletic and agile on mountainsides and difficult terrain. They are robust creatures able to withstand the cold or rough environments, and are available to all people, rich or poor. Call on goat energy when you need stability and balance in a precarious situation, or when you need nourishment after a period of scarcity. So remember this precarious situation, because we're going to go into that next. So here we have, I asked about the obstacle. So the Good Tarot in all the readings talks to me about what is the obstacle that this person needs to overcome. The card that came out was the Nine of Air. So you can see again these wings. So again, it's with the blue colour, it's talking to me possibly about this peacock. That's how I'm kind of connecting it. So but it's talking about being in a precarious situation. You can see that she has actually made it to the top of the mountain there. She's made it to the top of the mountain, but it's almost like she's trying to keep her balance. She's trying to keep that connection to spirit, to keep her stable. But all these other birds are flying around her, trying to distract her, trying to create movement around her, trying to disrupt her stability. So the Nine of Air is the Nine of Swords, and it talks to me about, it can be dark thoughts, depression, anxiety, worrying, thinking too much about your situation. This is saying to me the obstacle is maintaining your balance, maintaining your composure, your feeling of groundedness, your feeling of stability, even when you're right at the top, even when you're in the precarious situation. So it's like that goat has climbed up and become the bird, right? Or it's that the goat has supported somebody to get to the top. But yeah, it's like you need to trust spirit, you need to stay grounded, you need to keep that in an equilibrium so that you don't fall, because and again, this person has wings, so this feels like a slightly different energy. It's like two energies, so whether it's two sides of the one self, there's this kind of grounded goat, like earthy leadership energy, and then there's this kind of more fairy-like, bird-like, supported energy. But yeah, with all that moon stuff, the shaman stuff, it's like and I'll come back to this right at the end of the reading with that stingray, because what I was picking up on there is this kind of, it's almost like this person's in the eye of the storm, right? The calm in the center of the storm. So it could be that there's some sort of change happening here. It's creating quite a lot of turbulence around you. You could be ascending to a higher position, perhaps at work or just spiritually in your life. And so it's talking about this real need to kind of look at the bigger picture, to trust spirit, to trust your intuition, to stay out of your head, not allow anxiety, or not to overthink, not to overanalyze anything, but to keep in this kind of grounded, shamanic, earthy, spiritual energy. Remember that rock is underneath your feet. So yeah, stay earthy, keep out of your head, don't get in your head about something. I clarified this with the Two of Water. So the Two of Water is there's something about this partnership. It could be that there's some kind of partnership, or you could have been in a partnership and perhaps something's happened to the other person. It's in the positive though. It's not negative. This is somebody who's supporting you, who's by your side, a business partner, a friend, a love interest. It's somebody who's your equal. The goldfish talked to me about prosperity as well. So there could be some kind of change in leadership, where perhaps you were working with somebody else, you were being supported by somebody else to get into some sort of leadership position, or just to kind of sustain your equilibrium while there's some big changes going on around you. So do take it as it resonates now and kind of leave it if it doesn't. That's kind of everything I have for this section of the reading. So I do want to get you an advice card. I'm using the Spirit Animal Oracle deck here by Colette Baron Reid. Most of the decks are either by Colette Baron Reid or Stacey DeMarco here that I'm using. They'll all be listed in the description box down below. So the best advice please for the elk. The best advice please for the elk. So you got the protection messages. Yeah, look, time to collaborate and be peace. But these are both in the reverse. So let's see what this has to say. Number 1 as well. Yeah, like put yourself first, right? Or you might have to do something on your own. So you've got the protection message with it being in reverse. But can you see it's the same way up no matter how you look at it? There's a 2 of Cups card that's like this. Do you really believe that you have to do everything yourself? The octopus, right? Do you believe that somehow any help you get will be disappointing or not good enough? Perhaps it is time to address the issue of control and bias towards the negative. Yeah, don't think yourself out of things. It doesn't matter why or where you came to be pessimistic or mistrustful. The fact that Ant Spirit is showing up now is a sign that you have an opportunity to heal and to relearn to trust that others will show up for you in a genuine way. Ant Spirit wants you to remember that your expectations and limiting beliefs are a vibrational offering that draws in the opposite of what you desire. Spirit wants to help you and will send collaborative partners your way. 2 of Cups. It's time to see the universe as conscious and connected, loving and helpful, but you must first participate in the activity of co-creation. Creating reality is not just about dreaming. If you are feeling orphaned from community, reach out and communicate. If you feel vulnerable, know that being present in your vulnerability can help you to draw in someone who wants to assist you. Trust in your partnership with Spirit and your outer conditions will start to reflect that. Then you will see the miracles waiting for you, including partners who appear ready to lend a hand. This is what I was saying. It's like you're being supported, so stay out of your head. Don't let negative thoughts upset your equilibrium. You are stable. You are. It's like these, look, because it's a bird, right? Look at the white birds. It's like maybe they're coming to help you. You maybe think that they're coming to interfere or to knock you off your game, right? You're like, oh, it's hard to get to this top of this mountain. And now these birds are here pestering me, but maybe the birds are coming to help. Let's see what that dove spirit has to say. Interesting that it's a 21. 2 and 1 together make 3, and 3s are about working as part of a team. So again, the protection message. However disturbed the waters around you, however troubled your heart, I told you it's like this chaos and change around you. Dove Spirit is there to remind you that peace without begins. What? Dove Spirit is there to remind you that peace without begins within. So being external peace comes from within. As you reconnect with Spirit through practices that awaken you from spiritual amnesia. Your true nature is a peaceful child of Spirit, but how easily you forget. You're being invited to sit in the cozy, safe nest of Spirit. Soon the waters will become still and you will feel peace again. Be compassionate with yourself at this time, for all of us can forget that peace is always at hand, always there, gifted to us by Spirit. Become the peace you wish to see in the world so that you can reduce any suffering, perform acts of kindness and radiating love. Yeah, you're being told to lead from a place of peace and high vibrational energy. Look, the goat's white. The goat's white for a reason. Because you're being asked to be in high honor, right? Being high honor, leave with love and integrity. Dove Spirit also reminds you that when you see inequity or someone harmed in need, inequity is going to come back out, so keep watching for that. Trust that you have the capacity to bring peace through smiling, sending love, speaking a kind word, and listening with a compassionate heart. Do your part to be a peacemaker, nourishing compassion, reminding others of the joy of harmonious coexistence so that they may celebrate the dove spirit within themselves too. I'm getting Libran energy from this now. I do get Libra from this card sometimes, but Libra's a card about negotiating, finding harmony, being compassionate to others. So it could be that there's something there from that. And I get Libra from the mouse because I associate with the mouse card, so we could have a look at that when we get there, but we'll see sort of how that develops as we go. So I hope that was helpful to you. If you're just checking out the elk card, I'm going to get a song to close out the reading for you, if that's where I'm leaving you. If you associate with any of the other cards, you know, do go and check those out. If anything, you know, I mentioned a few of the other cards there as I was going through, so if anything stood out to you, go and check out those cards as well. If you're here for the story, you know, stick around. I may actually upload these as separate individual videos. Oh, do go and check out that song by Julie. My video cut out. So yeah, I'm going to upload these as separate videos. I'm just looking at the lyrics to that, levitating. But that does talk about, you know, two people who are supporting each other or whatever. So, yeah, I'm waffling now. So, yeah, if you want to stick around, the next reading will be the tarantula reading. So, if you want to follow me to the tarantula reading, you can do so. And yeah, we'll just keep going on this journey together. So, if I'm leaving you here, I'm going to get a song to close out the elk section of the reading. So, if you're associating with the elk section of the reading, what message do you need to come through? What do you want to tell the people who are connecting with the elk reading, please? Best possible song. Angry Johnny by Poe. Advert. There you go. So Angry Johnny by Poe. The opening line to this song is Johnny, Angry Johnny, this is Jezebel in hell. So interesting start there. I'm just thinking about that Shake It Out song by Florence and the Machine. It's always darkest before the dawn. It's hard to dance with the devil on your back. So there could definitely be something from the past that needs to be shaken off, so that a new, more supportive connection can come in here. This is the Two of Cups in the upright. So there's nothing wrong with this connection, whatever this is for you with the doves and things. But yeah, I don't know what that is to you, so maybe go and look that up and see what you get from that song. And I'm interested to see how this storyline plays out. As I say, I've had a peek ahead, but I've not kind of gone in depth on any of them, so I'm here for this ride as much as you are. So yeah, let's leave that there. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, so those of you who are coming along with me, we're off to the tarantula reading. For those of you who are just checking out the elk, I hope it was helpful to you. Leave me a like, subscribe, leave me a comment if anything particularly resonated. If you're coming in as a stealth watcher, I respect that. I understand that, so totally welcome to do that too, and thank you for making it to the end of the reading. Do take care, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.